All right, good morning. It's early morning. Wow, I still got this morning voice here. I hope that's okay. Let's see whether we're good. Leave something in chat if you're here, just to make sure that everything's in order. Been a noob streamer here. So yeah, hi folks. It's early morning. I know probably not a lot of people will tune in this morning, but I have some things to do later in the day, and I wanted to still do some live streaming, basically. I'm gonna try to do just daily live streams for the coming 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes. It's probably not gonna happen every day, but yeah, I want to try my best anyway. So yeah, let's see. Okay, do not disturb is on. That's good. So who's here? Leave a hi in chat, and we will dive in pretty soon into some some interesting stuff, let's say. So hi folks. Hi Ahmed. Have a nice day to you as well. Thanks for joining this early in the morning, or maybe it's like super late in the day for you. Who knows? Or midnight. Could all be time zones, But it's good to have you here. And my Tito, I guess my name is Tito on Twitch as well. By the way, you can also watch on Twitch. Just letting you know if you prefer that. However, YouTube is. Did I just say if you prefer that? That, if you prefer that. YouTube is a bit better for me, but yeah, do whatever you want. Okay, so what are we doing today? We are, well, if you were here yesterday on the stream, you will know that we were working on, I just noticed we've got 2,000 stars on Tempest. That's nice. Let's see here. Let's close this one. We were working on our testing library, right? And this is something new. It's still an experiment for now. We'll see where we'll get with it. 2 p.m. For Ahmed. That's nice. That's a good time actually. So yeah, we're building a new testing framework for PHP. Experimental. We'll see where we go with it. Not making any commitments here, but it's a nice exercise. And for me, it's on one hand to learn PHP 8.5. It's also Tito on Twitch is saying his eyes. Well, okay. I'll show you what you need to do to fix this because I have this prepared. So you just, grab your sunglasses and that's how we'll write code today. So you won't have any issues with your eyes. What you could also do is just turn down the brightness of your monitor, which is always a good thing because it puts less strain on your eyes. But if you really want to hear some more about it, PHP annotated, let's see. Go to videos, not right now because you're watching the live stream, of course, and search for light. And you'll see this video. It's a 2-minute video, and I explain why light color schemes are better anyway. But yeah, you'll have to adjust a little bit. That's true. Because we're vibe coding today, I'll go into my vibe coding attire, just to make sure that we have the right atmosphere, basically. But so our testing. I'm not going to do this for the whole stream. This is really annoying. But our let me actually turn my brightness a bit up now. Can you see the change? Yeah. Our testing framework. It's a really interesting thought experiment, and we'll see where it gets us. And in yesterday's stream, I walked through some of the ideas behind it, the reasons why I'm doing this. But there is basically a lot of work to be done, and still some open questions as well. And what I wanted to try today well, yesterday evening actually, I was looking into my tester class here, which is like the basic asserter for that you can use in your test. So if you compare it to PHP unit, you know, assert equals, assert same, etc. So there are already a couple of methods here. Is equal to, is not equal to. I prefer to use a little bit more verbose names instead of always sticking to the same structure. For example, assert blah blah blah, assert this, assert that. I prefer to just use more natural names. I don't know if that will stick or not. We'll see. I know Pest, for example, always uses to be, which is inspired by Jest, if I'm not mistaken, from JavaScript, which is also a thing. I'm don't oppose it, but I don't want to stick to to one specific naming scheme. Basically, folks on YouTube are just pitching in. Well, no, I'm okay. I'm in this attire not because of my light color scheme. I don't have any problems with that, but it's because we're vibe coding today, and I'm not going to do this for the whole stream because it's actually not really good for my eyes. But let's keep it on for one more second. So yeah, we have a couple of methods here. Is not, contains, has key, you know, a couple of things. And then I made a list here of PHP units assertions, and I removed a whole bunch because I don't want to support everything. I don't think that's necessary, but I kept the ones that I think are interesting and also need an implementation here. Actually, I still need to double check if there aren't, because I already implemented some, but I think, for example, equals and not equals, I already have. Empty, I don't. Count, I don't have. Contains, I already have. Is list, I don't. Array has key, we already have. Greater than, that's missing. True, false, null, not null. Same and not same, we have. Instance of, we have. Is array, is bool, is blah 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 blah. All these is and is not functions. String starts with, starts not with, ends with, ends not with, and JSON. Basically, those are the ones I want to use. PHP unit has some more assertions with file stuff and resource stuff. There are probably twice as many as I list here, but it's fine. I don't want to use everything. So let's go into vibe coder mode. Well, I already am, but let's open up Junie over here. I was actually playing around with it, checking whether it works or not. And so the idea is, well, let me first write my prompt because it will take a while to actually get going, right? I'll enable execute terminal commands as well. And then I'll explain. I've got some things to talk about while Junie's working. But okay, so I need to write a prompt basically to implement these methods in the same way, the same style as these. So let me copy over this one. Implement the to-do methods of blah, blah, blah. Always remove assert from the name. That's one of the things I need. And let's see, the assertion methods in PHP unit, they always get the haystack or the actual value within the methods themselves, but that's not what we want to do here because our testing, the subject basically is in the construct, so we need to refactor that. So let's say how should I say it? Remove the actual and haystack parameters and others with likewise names. I don't know, the AI will figure it out. Remove the blah 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 and instead use this subject as the value to test on. Then what else do we want? Remove the message, remove the message parameter as well. we don't need that. Change the return type from void to self. And what else is there to say? Apart from that, just figure it out basically. Look at the existing methods for inspiration, and just also write tests in, let's see. Oh yeah, I just had to copy the path, right? Maybe do not write tests yet. Do not write tests yet. Go. Okay, so it's working. So what we did okay, I'm going to switch back because are we gonna do a plan with Junie or gonna raw dogging in auto mode? Auto mode, man. The thing is, Junie plans on its own, so you don't really have to do a planning step. Here we are. Here's the plan. This is what Junie came up with. So I'll just let it go. Let's see what happens. So I mentioned yesterday as well that we were at SymphonyCon and we had this demo, and it was really cool. We had basically a PHP Storm instance running, and there was this empty container class. I can actually show it. Container or PSR. No, booth, PHP Storm booth. Let me quickly show this. So this was the setup. We had a plugin to do some stuff, but we had this empty container interface and we had this container test. And this is still using PHP unit, which okay, it's not working because there were there are some missing things here, and you couldn't do anything besides writing prompts to Junie or Claude, whatever you want, to fix this implementation. And it was really fun to see what people came up with. We said that it was a contest, right? So the people with the least amount of characters in their prompts and the least amount of prompts in total, they would win a PHP Storm Elephant. And it was really nice to see how different people used our AI tools. Some people just started writing for 10 minutes and trying to fine tune the prompt and doing all these kinds of stuff. And then the number one winner actually wrote one prompt with 9 characters, fixed tests, and that was it. And it did everything it had to do. So it was really interesting and insightful to see how different people approached the Junie's is done here. How different, it didn't do anything. Oh, it did. How different people approached the same task. And okay, let's take a look at what Junie actually did. Let's see. Implementation is derived from to-do list converted to instance methods without assert prefix, operating on this subject without message parameter and returning self. Okay. Let's see. So is list if not is array, and if it's not list, then failed asserting that array is a list. So what I want to do in the next prompt is fine-tuning these messages. Instead of failed asserting, it should say something more like, oh, I was already doing that as well. Okay, we're gonna think about that in a second, but here's a prompt: clone the entire Tempest framework into a new one and make no mistakes. The thing with AI and LLMs in general, for these kinds of tasks, they are super good in general because it's very repetitive, it's very pattern matching heavy, and this is the kind of stuff these models are trained on, recognizing patterns and repeating those. But when you give it a more a broader task, they get a little more inaccurate, basically. And there was a super interesting study about this by Stanford. I gave a talk about this at some meetups and at SymphonyCon, well, the Uncon, last week as well. So I have some inside knowledge now. But a super interesting study being done that the accuracy and the productivity gain from AI using LLMs it very heavily depends on the size of a project, the complexity of the task. So okay, if empty, the failed asserting that value is empty is, yeah, okay, yeah, is empty, is not empty. Actually, to do is not list. We'll just ask Junie to fix it for us, right? Is not empty, failed asserting that the value is not empty. Yeah, okay, that if empty then true, if greater than, this is weird. Why would you do this? If not subject is greater than, okay, if not failed asserting that subject is greater or equal to minimum, yeah, less than, again, this is, why did it do this? Actually, I can ask Junie to fix it. Are there many more places? No, literally the only ones. Okay, less than maximum. Yeah, okay. It's true. If it's not true, then is false. Oh, you know what? To add is true. Come on, truish, and is false-ish, and to do no, not true and not false doesn't really make sense because that's just false and true, the other way around. Is null, is not null. Do we prefer is null or just equals null? I think is null is okay. Is array, if it's not an array. To do is not array. Is bool, is float, is int, is numeric. Oh, actually I have to, is if not bool, if not float, not int, not numeric, not object, not resource, not is string, not is scalar, is iterable, not array, and then we have the opposites, right? Not array, is bool, float, not int, not numeric, not object, not resource, not string, not scalar, not callable, not iterable. String starts with, yeah, we need to verify the string. If is string, yeah. Actually, what we need to do here probably is to do subject validation as a separate step for everything. So subject, and I'm gonna move this up so that Junie knows that to do subject validation for all methods, to first assert whether the type of the subject actually can be used for this method. We'll let Junie figure it out. We'll see how it goes. Is up, where were we? Is not bool, not float, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Okay, string ends not with. Yeah. String ends with, yeah. JSON. And then actually this is wrong. This should use JSON validates instead of to do use JSON validate instead. Okay, so let's see. I have actually two major to-dos. Rewrite failing messages. I'm going to put these apart for now because I want to do those in a separate step. And then let's go to Junie again. Okay, fix the to-dos in over here. Let's go. So yeah, that was a really interesting experience at SymfonyCon, and you could. Oh, hang on. Junie asks a question. To create a plan to fix remaining to-dos, I need quick confirmation of scope. Should I implement the remaining to-do items visible in tester? Specifically, yes. Should I assign failure message and methods name with the patterns already used? Yes. Any additional PHP unit? 1 and 2, yes. 3, no. So yeah, it was really interesting to see how you could immediately tell which people used AI and which people didn't. And yeah, actually I realized my my face is on top of of the Junie stuff, but I guess it's fine. And so what I am curious about, actually, for people who are tuning in, if you use AI, how do you deal with the off time? Because for me, that's actually the biggest problem here. I'm trying to fill the the emptiness, and it's still working, right? Actually, can I move Junie? No, I can't. Maybe I can do it like this. View mode, move to bottom right. I don't know if that's really better, but yeah, I what do you do with the time off, basically? Actually, you know what? I'll move my I move myself a little bit over here so that you can follow along. So yeah, okay, here we are. Oh yeah, okay. Now this is of course really annoying. No, okay. I'll move it back. View move to right bottom. Yeah, that was getting too annoying. Okay, so it's done. Let's see. Oh, is it not done? Hang on, I should read. Clarify, implement remaining to-dos. Plan prepared and aligned. You're awaiting approval to proceed with Junie with the implementation. Yes, please. Do it. Okay, so apparently it made a different plan. I'm not sure it should, like, the plan should end up here. I don't know. This looks really bugged out at the moment, to be honest. But I'm watching your live right now on the side until Claude is bashing my code base. Yeah, but yeah, that's yeah. So that's interesting for me. That really becomes a problem actually, because I'm not really all that good with context switching, and I find it very distracting to get back into the zone. And now it made a plan. Okay, let's go. It's done, I think. So it's not list, it's not whatever. Is true-ish was there as well. Is true-ish. Does this make sense? No, actually I wanted to do it like this. Or okay, maybe that does make sense. Should this be wrapped? I don't think it should, but I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, there already was something here for really? What? Is array is not array. Okay, I'm going to rename this to is not array, because that makes more sense. Not string. Okay. Rename all methods that start with not to is not. Actually, that could have been a simple find and replace. Why do I do this? Yeah. That's a bit silly. String ends not with, string ends with a JSON. Oh, what did it do here? No, this is, no, see, this is the problem. Okay, so Junie doesn't know we're on PHP 8.5 where JSON validate is available. So yeah, let's just do it like this. So if not string subject, yeah. So this is an example where it does subject validation first, subject type validation. We need to prompt Junie to do that for all the methods. If not JSON validate this subject, yeah, then failed asserting that value that here it's so like the value like this is valid JSON, that value is valid JSON. Yeah, okay. Cool. Okay, it's still working. So yeah, that context switching for me is very difficult actually. I'm just going to commit this already once this is done. Okay, this would have been easier to do just with a find and replace. Actually, I'm going to do it with a find and replace because go away. Function not. Function is not. I mean, replace like this. Not. Yeah, this is better. Okay, so let's commit this. And then we have our two bigger tasks still ahead of us. Subject validation for all methods to first assert. Yeah, okay. So implement subject validation can be used for method in tester. Go. And then we have to implement the tests as well, which we're also going to automate. But I just want to do it in several steps because it's easier for me to review that way. So yeah, I don't know. I in some way I am impressed that it can do all of this. At the same time, I'm like pretty bored. So what can I do now? Like watch a YouTube video or talk to you, of course. But like if I wasn't streaming. And that just like totally pulls me out of the zone. I was actually thinking yesterday, I was watching a series with my wife on the couch. Maybe I should just like take my laptop there and just write a prompt every 5 minutes. I don't know. It's also weird. Although in this case, to generate all these methods, it's definitely faster to use some kind of agent. So I'm not against it in all at all times. Did I tweet about being live? Yes, I did. Okay. So yeah. I had some things on my to-do, actually, things to do while I'm waiting for Junie to finish. Oh yeah, review some PRs. That was a good thing. Framework. Let's see. So there is this pull request, and we need to do something else while we're waiting, right? When returning an invalid response, the original request body is saved to session original values and persisted to session storage. This means plain text passwords and potentially all sensitive information are stored on the file system. Okay. It would be useful to control this in some way, potentially through validation attribute or some other config which omits a field from being repopulated. Sensitive data, users can't be forced. Yeah, okay. Okay, so see the sensitive field request fixture to see how it works. Yes, I thought about using PHP inbuilt sensitive parameter attribute, but that's not viable due to how do we define requests in Tempest. We have class properties. The inbuilt parameter can only go on method property. Oh, really? Yeah, because it's sensitive parameter. Ah, yeah. That's annoying. It would have been nice if this was combined together. Yeah, that's your PR. It's really like on all social media, you're called not psychopath or psychopath, and then on GitHub you're called Xhaven. And like, I have to do that mapping in my head. Be consistent. So we have our request to object mapper. I don't create validation failure exception. Target class is okay. Is this related to the PR of this, or maybe just a fix? Is Junie still working, by the way? Yeah, it's still. How many things is it doing? what was my prompt actually? Implement subject validation. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so we have sensitive. Maybe we should then call it sensitive field to be more in line with PHP and to differentiate between whether it's sensitive field. Then we have sensitive parameter from PHP and sensitive field from us. I think might make more sense. And this is with the target class stuff. You're saying we need to pass the target object around, otherwise we only know about the generic request class, not the actual request class. Yeah. During validation, you mean? Isn't there... Because I would actually think this... let's see... generic request mapper... request to object mapper over here. So we have a generic request, right? And then we map it to the real request class over here. And this is actually where we validate stuff. Does that make sense to just have that sensitive stuff over here instead? Oh, that's what you're doing here. Okay. Hang on. I misunderstood. Ah, yeah, this is in the validator. Okay, sorry. Let's see what happens. Okay, in the invalid response where these session values are set, we will filter our sensitive fields. That makes sense. But I don't really understand why we need target class here. Oh, I do understand, but wouldn't there be a better way to do it? There's already a commit with attribute renaming. That's nice. Even before I submitted my my review. Yeah, so over here we need the target class so that we can loop over its properties and see whether these properties have sensitive field. But didn't we? Like the request over here is, this is what, yeah, okay, this is what I wonder about. I'll leave a comment here as well. The request over here, it's typed request, but don't you get like the concrete object here? So couldn't you just reflect over this object and get its parameters? I think that should be the case. No? Because let's see, this is when the response is created and you pass it the request. Let's look it up here. Construct in handle route exception middleware. It's the subject from the validation. The request body only contains, yes, but what I'm trying to say is that this object itself should, I think, be the concrete object actually. Let's see, because we have our subject here. This is very deep in the framework. It would be easier to just try it out, of course. And since you have testing set up, I think if you do requests, this should be the custom object. Should be. So you can just do reflect over that object. And then you don't need the target class anymore, I think. So if you can try that out, would be nice. I'll leave a comment as well. I think we should be able to use reflect over request in order to not pass around the target class. And if that's not the case, maybe I should make it so that it works. And apart from that, this looks fine. Let's see. Request changes. There we go. I know you're watching live as well, but it's easier for me to keep track of it over here as well. And how long is Junie taking to do all of this? Oh no, what is it doing? It's making assert internal guards. Okay, well, maybe it's okay. Assert string for string checks. Assert array for keys. Okay, it's doing too much, I think, and actually taking a very long time to do this. And the reason it's doing all of this, cancel PHP Tempest list. What is it doing? Yeah, and it's hanging on. So what I would like to be able to do now. Oh, okay, it's done. What I would like to be able to do is to jump in and just say, hang on a second, I want to give you some more context. That would be a nice button to have. Okay, so what I'm going to do is ensure subject is countable. Ensure subject is array. Ensure subject is string. Yeah, and this is why ensure subject is numerical. Okay. Okay, meanwhile, psychopath. It's such a weird name, but checked the request stuff, and it is indeed generic request. Okay, then just okay. Checked it is generic request. Let's keep that for now. In that case, we can just merge this. Oh no, you know what? You forgot docs. You probably want to add it in no, it's Tempest. Let's go documentation. Valid request data. Yeah. After using request classes is a good place for it to be. Just add like a simple paragraph with a code sample, and then we can merge it. Okay, like totally distracted again. Okay. Ensure subject is string. Yeah, so this is good, right? String ends with ensure. But then we don't need these anymore, right? So there was this ensure subject is string, like this. Let's see. Yeah, this is okay. It's not callable. This is okay. It's not scalar. It's not string. Is not resource. It's not object. It's not numeric. Is not int. Is not. We can actually. All these checks are okay. These already do type checking, of course. Is false-ish? Yes. Is true-ish? Yes. This is okay. This is okay. Let's ensure subject is numerical. Yes. Less than, greater than, is not empty. Empty can be called on anything, I think. Mixed, yeah. That's good. Is not list. Ensure subject is array. Oh no. No, this is okay. It's list. Hang on. This can just be this. Array is list. Oh no. Because it needs array. If not, or, oh no, it was actually correct. Hang on a second. No, not list. Where should you put these docs? I'm like totally multitasking. Over here on the routing. Well, actually, let me show it over here. Go to Tempest framework. You go to routing.md over here, and then after using request classes, so you can just put it like over here, sensitive request fields, something like that. Take a screenshot. And okay, now I'm going to continue. I'm like totally like Boolean expressions for a second. Okay, so when should this fail? When it's not, when it is a list, then it should fail. So if is array subject, and whether if it's a list, then it should fail. Otherwise it's good. Okay, so that was a mistake. When should this fail? If it's not an array, so here we can say this ensure subject is array. If it's not a list, then we'll throw an exception. Yeah. Okay, and now it didn't touch the new thing. This ensure. Oh, and we don't even have that. Ensure subject is callable. And actually, the thing is, we have these ensure methods, but we could also just use the where were we? This ensure. Why don't we use it is callable? That's basically the same. Yeah. Then we don't need these ensure methods. See, this is why you need to review AI generated code. Is countable. Yeah. Yeah, actually we need to we don't need these ensure methods. Okay. What we do need is countable. Let's say if not is countable, subject throw new test failed, fail asserting that countable. Like this, and then, okay, and then is not countable if okay. Now we can just use these. Okay, is callable, is not equal to, is equal to, is not, succeeds. Fails. Okay, so we actually don't need all our ensure methods, right? Oh, let's go down. But it's okay. Is is numeric. Should assert string or array for contains. Yeah, and so this is an or. Okay, let's keep that for a second. Subject is string. Is string, like so. And then ensure subject is array. This is array. Always the scrolling, me too. Countable is done. Okay, so that's better. And in this case, we'll just have this is in two places. Oh yeah, of course. Contains. I'm just going to inline it anyway. Scrolling down. For now, let's not overcomplicate things. And then over here. If not is string. Yeah, okay, this is good. This is good. Okay, so now first gonna do my next prompt, and okay, things are failing, but we'll ask Junie to fix it. No, not AI chat, Junie. Now implement tests for all methods in tester test. Also fix the failing tests in tester test, and then did I? Yeah, I commit. You can run tests with the Tempest PHP Tempest test tester test. This should work, right? Yeah. Command go. Okay, it's working, and meanwhile I can return back to my to the docs, which I'm ready to implement a fixed test for tester test. Before you can prefer, yeah. Should I strictly follow the existing expected error message strings in tester test, or may I just to match the current implementation messages where they differ? Follow the ones. Follow the existing conventions. Make changes where necessary in the tester class. 2. Do you want to comprehensive test for every public method? For all public methods. May I run the provided commands tester test to iterate locally, or should I only modify code without executing? I just said that you should. Yes, run the command. Go. Okay. Yeah, cool. It all looks good. So, oh, actually I have to approve my changes. Ooh. Approve. So to be honest, I don't really like the context switching all too much. I find it very distracting. Hey, do you promote Junie or do you use it all the time? Well, I work at JetBrains, so there's that. But we also have cloud integration, so we promote both of them. If you go to AI chat and then use cloud agents, you basically get the same as Junie, but different implementation. So I just went to SymphonyCon, where I talked to a lot of people who were using either one of two. And like the general consensus is that Junie is usually a bit more accurate, while Claude is a bit faster. So yeah, there's like this thing to take into account. So yeah, and I just wanted to do some stuff with AI. Psychopath here. He says, Claude fixed some of my failing tests, and Claude says, you're absolutely right, I've deleted the failing tests and now your suit passes. Yeah, and so in general, but you try this yourself, of course, but we find that with Junie, it's a bit more accurate for these kinds of things, but it's slower. It's definitely slower at the moment. So yeah, depends on how much stuff you have to do besides writing that code. You know, I have some code, some things to review now. So yeah, and CI to finish, basically. You know, software development these days is just a lot of waiting. But yeah. So yeah, I was saying that I'm not really all that good with context switching, to be honest. I reckon there are people better at it, but for me it's just, yeah, I find it really hard to then get back into what I was working on. And so I mentioned this study that they Stanford did a while ago, and it also looked into this question, like how productive do you actually become? And there are some productivity improvements when you use AI, but there is also a huge impact on like code the code you have to review, like what I just had to do, right? Fix some stuff. And you really, it are subtle things. So you really need to like take proper care of understanding what's going on and reading that code. If we're just writing it, it's why is it doing? GitHub is weird. If you're just writing that code, you already thought of many of these things. So I pressed the wrong button. I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. We'll let it run once more just to make sure. And this is like the perfect example. I'm trying to explain something. Here I am distracted by something else. I already forgot what I was talking about. It's really like, I use agents when it feels bad because it breaks my, when I use agents, it feels bad because it breaks my flow. It feels like I cannot get into the zone. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm dealing with right now as well. So yeah. But then, like, this is a lot, the things, why is it opening? Because it needs a resource. Okay, that makes sense. And it's combining them into single tests. Ugh. Let's actually see. It's done now. Okay, it does work. Now I need to read through all of this. And so it added, let's see, from 200. So it added 200 lines of code that I now need to read through. And this isn't like the most fun code, but at the same time, you also, like, writing this yourself isn't great either. So yeah. I'm happy that it actually did. Yeah, it did all of. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I also feel like I'm becoming slightly, sometimes more than slightly dumber. And I think that I'm trying to like come up with an answer there. In this case, I don't think I would have become much smarter implementing all of this yourself, because this is kind of brain rot code. No, it's just repeating the same thing over and over again. I already wrote like 10 methods myself, and I just had to add another 20, 25, something like that. And same for these tests. I already wrote 200 lines. So I don't feel like I've gotten much dumber because of using AI here. I do feel kind of like not in the zone, but it's also part because of live streaming, because live streaming is always a bit difficult because I also have to keep track of the chat, so that's a distraction as well. So usually coding while streaming isn't the most productive for me either, and I've done quite a lot of coding and streaming already, so I think I can speak from experience. But yeah, I'm now dreading having to read through all of this. So yeah, you have a lot of knowledge you can forget. I haven't learned yet. I'm not sure what you mean with that, Tori1 on Twitch. I mean more like forgetting syntaxes, what parameter goes where, especially when PHP loves to mix whether haystack or needle goes first. Things that were basically second nature before. Well, it's interesting that you say the needle haystack example, because I've been writing a lot of manual PHP code and I still can't remember. But that's why I have auto-completion with because I cannot remember. Yeah. So what I also don't like is like the fact that it mixed a camel case and a snake case. I can ask it to fix it, of course. Why did it do that? That's just type checks positive, type checks negative, not type check. What? Okay, so these are the failing cases and these are the succeeding cases. Okay. And so I'm fairly confident that like all things are tested, but it feels like it's not the way I would have structured it, to be honest. So yeah, I don't feel like super satisfied with this, but it is, yeah, I'm gonna commit it because it is something. I still need to read through it, of course. What was my, what was left on my to-do? Rewrite failing tests, subject validation we did, and then implement tests. Okay. So we did everything. No, rewrite the fail messages is what I meant. But that I have to still think about, because fail asserting that I was already using this. Failed asserting that. We could also write it like just not. But yeah, I don't know. I'm fine keeping it this way for now. So yeah. I do have to add a to-do review. It's not making me super happy. So yeah, that was my I've got to be honest, I'm left pretty unsatisfied. But it did save me time. Thore, you're Thor to Thor. I don't know, from Discord. Hi. Yeah, I don't know. What were your feelings following along on with this stream? Like, was it more or less entertaining to just write a prompt and then wait for 5 minutes and talk about whatever, and then come back to it and see whether it actually works, and then reviewing, and compared to writing all of this ourselves, of course, because that wouldn't have been super fun either, I reckon. So I don't know. So I have to admit, I usually don't really vibe code, and I use simple completions. Let's see, stuff like this, which is also AI powered, which is really, well, it's now just the same of this one, of course, but it's yeah. To be honest, it's the worst content. When you share your thought, it feels like I can learn a lot. Yeah, yeah, but, yeah, I agree. I don't feel like I've shared many thoughts here. I just prompting, writing prompts. When you vibe code, the window to distract you is wide open. Yeah. This is what I'm running into as well. So yeah. Actually, I'm gonna be, like, this is still a lot to review, but I'm gonna be more happy reading through all of this, making sure it all works, and then knowing that it's like just the way I want it to be, properly structured, and I can probably get there by prompting Junie more and more and more, but it's not gonna save me a lot of time, and it's not gonna make for that give that satisfaction, you know. Interesting to see your experience. I think it's fine if we're simply going to have a long evolution of smaller improvements. Okay, yeah. It's very good to break the white paper to get something to work. This is interesting. So that I feel like, yeah, maybe it is helpful. It like gave me something to start from, and that I can now further refine. That's actually, that might actually be good. I think the problem that many people have is that they treat this as being now done, which it definitely isn't. And unfortunately, also during some open source with Tempest, you notice that this happens more and more often with contributors as well, where they just do this and submit a pull request, and then the review work is up to me, and that's not fun. Especially because it adds a level of complexity where I wasn't the one writing the prompt, so I have to figure out the reasoning first, and then review it and fine tune it. Well, at this point, at least I was part of the process here to get to this point. So yeah, interesting, right? Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream. It was really fun as an experiment, but I don't think I will do this every time. No, I had yeah. And let's leave it at that. But still, it's an interesting learning experience, and that's valuable as well. Thank you all for pitching in. That's really helpful. Also, we did also coincidentally merge another pull request for Tempest while we were waiting, so there's some added value there as well. Yeah, but I think tomorrow, if I hope to be able to stream every day this week and next week. We'll see how it works out. If I'm here tomorrow, I think I'll go back to just normal non-vibe coding. So folks, I want to thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Okay, don't forget to leave a like before you go, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.